This could be a terastallization on the Ensign to pick up the knockoff on Lunala. I think we gotta go CC and then Moongeist Beam. Okay, here's the moment, boys. Everything's coming down to the line. It's the Ensign. Okay, what is it? It's Terapagos! Yo! Moongeist into the Terapagos! We have it all in line, boys and girls! We gonna give him the blast. Here comes the beam! Hit her with it! Bat! Ba, 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 ba. Run it back, boys and girls. We're here for week 2 of many more to come of our weekend Friday feeling, sometimes Saturday bonus video, and we're talking Lunala today. I don't know, I've been kind of on a kick lately of exploring the restricteds that I usually don't get to play around with. And the likes of Terapagos, Miraidon, the Calis, some of these other restricteds fall under the radar, but by no means should you be sleeping on them. Last week we tried out Kyurem White. This week we looking at the Big Bat. So Lunala is an interesting Pokemon. It's sort of a restricted that I feel like everyone kind of has in the back of their mind. No one really expects it to dominate a tournament, but everyone thinks that there's a chance it could have a deep run. I remember watching some of the world streams or some of the national streams and having the announcers mention Lunala a handful of times as something that can frequently be surprisingly good when piloted by the right players. And in this case, that right player is Takashi Yamamoto. So this individual often goes by Migawati on YouTube. This is a Japanese player who I believe at the Japanese championships took top 8 with this exact team. Now, being best of 1 changes things up a little bit. The Japanese circuit is always a best of 1 environment. They don't have the open team sheets. A lot of their tournaments are just online tournaments. That's not true at every level, but frequently it's best of 1 closed team sheet. So that changes the landscape and allows surprising Pokemon to appear as strong choices. Now, all of those caveats aside, this is a really awesome team. Lunala is interesting in the fact that it has a couple things going for it. A signature move, Moongeist Beam, that is ignoring the abilities of opponent's Pokemon. So things like Mimikyu, just as an example. The ability of Mimikyu to nerf damage that it takes on the first hit is nullified by Moongeist Beam, and you could just OHKO that thing. It almost acts like Mold Breaker. Additionally, Lunala has Shadow Shield, which is like... it's closer to multi-scale than it is Terra Shell. In fact, I believe it's basically a multi-scale copy. Shadow Shield will have the damage that you take on the first hit when Lunala is at full health. And in order to abuse that fact, we can see Migawati using Leftovers and Grassy Surge as a way to potentially reset the Shadow Shield on this Lunala over and over again, giving it constant protection against opponents' incoming attacks. So these are some of the tools that Lunala has. Frequently, Lunalas I've seen on some of the paste repository sites are running Power Herb with Meteor Beam. That's not the case for this Lunala. We're going Calm Mind, we're setting up our boosts, and we're going on the offense. So this is a little bit of a stacking team, right? You can set up some boosts with Calm Mind and then do damage beyond what the Power Herb combination can do. Plus, it doesn't restrict you from clicking Meteor Beam only like 1 time. Additionally, to round out this team, we have a classic Firewater Grass Core, except no Ensign this time. We're rocking Scarf Chi-Yu alongside the Sash Urshifu. This Scarf Chi-Yu gives this team a little bit of speed because Lunala sits at about 97, I believe, base speed stat, which means that it's not the fastest thing on the field. It performs well under Tailwind, and we have that on the team as well in the form of Iron Jugulus. But if you need a little bit of instant turbo, we have a Scarf Chi-Yu to take care of that. Also, the Beads of Ruin, of course, benefits the Lunala very nicely. So, we have our Firewater Grass, we have the Iron Jugulus for some speed control, booster energy, tailwinds. Now, this Umbreon is something that's also worth talking about, to be sure. Inner Focus, Umbreon is... a staple of the meta is a bit of an extreme stretch, but there's been some innovations. I believe, is it Kian Campbell did well with Umbreon and a Zacian combination? I believe that's the last time that I've seen Umbreon in the spotlight. But this Umbreon is a bit different. The Terra Poison is cool for blocking, fighting, and fairy moves, but usually these Umbreons are running safety goggles. Instead, we have a Citrus Berry here. Additionally, you'll notice the moveset of this Umbreon is quite wild. It's rocking Toxic, which is, believe me, it seems like a shocking choice. Stall often has only really been well executed with the Dondozo Tatsugiri strategy and then setting up some poison with Mortal Spin from Glamora. But in this case, the Umbreon Toxic, it's sort of an interesting backup move. I mean, Foul Play doesn't always have complete utility on the board, and being able to throw off a couple of Toxics as your Lunala is going for Calm Minds, it's been shockingly effective in some of my matchups. Okay, I was playing some practice games today, and I was surprised how often I was clicking Toxic to push through opposing Reflect Light Screen stuff to rack up Toxic damage in the face of someone spamming Snarl while my Lunala clicks Calm Mind. There's a decent amount of opportunity for Umbreon to utilize poison. And of course, again, this team was top 8 at a Japanese championship tournament, so it's hard to rebuke the fact that it must be doing something right. Additionally, Reflect is here as a way to benefit the calm-minding Lunala, giving it another set of defensive walls, does quite well into Calyrex-Ice Rider, as well as Zamazenta if you have the Terra Poison online. So a very, very unique take on Lunala. Rather than a Trick Room set with the Power Herb, instead we're going Calm Mind and Tailwind with a Firewater Grass Core and then some support here from Umbreon. So I was hyped as heck to try this thing out. It's been surprisingly effective. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys will enjoy it too. Let me show you what Lunala is capable about. Let's get into it. Man, I love using these off-color restricted picks, bro. Star Barrage. Got it in time, boys and girls. Let's check out our first matchup here. Okay, so we are going up against a Calyrex-Ice Rider team, paired up here with a Alolan Ninetales to give it that defense boost. That's pretty cool, plus the Aurora Veil. Looks like there's also some more Trick Room sweepers in the form of at least Ursaluna. And then, maybe a combination Titan sweeper, being able to pivot into Slush Rush, which I think is one of its abilities, as well as perhaps performing decently under Trick Room. It's sort of slow. So gotta watch out for a Mental Herb here. Like, I wouldn't really want to have to deal with a Trick Room going up. So I do think having the Taunt Foul Play pressure from Umbreon looks good, especially in the face of a Fake Out from Hitmontop. Additionally, we definitely want to put pressure down on all of these pieces early. I'm pretty motivated to try and just go Chi-Yu and blow a hole through some of their offense here. So we're going to go ahead and try that strategy, and then we'll finish up here with the Lunala in the back. And I think perhaps I'm pretty also motivated to hit the Surging Strikes button. Like, there's way too much Ice type to be justifying the Grass type. And in a world where Trick Room goes up, like, Air Slash Tailwind isn't really helpful. So these are my 4 that I'm going to be going with here, I believe. We also can go Terra Ghost on the Chi-Yu in order to dodge a Fake Out from the Hitmontop if we're worried about it going this way or that. So I'm pretty motivated to see what kind of pressure we can exert. T1, baby. Back on our energy drink grind, by the way. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what we expected here. Question is, what is the best way to play this out, right? So Hitmontop's Intimidate's going to go down. He can't fake out the Umbreon. He can fake out the Chi-Yu. Question is, do we click Taunt or do we click or Terra Poison Taunt? I'm interested to know, on average, how much a Hitmontop is doing to an Umbreon. And it looks like Close Combat is not picking it up. So I think we're going to Taunt the Farigiraf and then go Terra Ghost. We can't KO this Farigiraf, so we may as well just throw down some damage onto it. In case it's a Throat Spray set, we'll go this way. So we are giving up our resistance to Calyrex-Ice Rider, which isn't amazing, but also I don't really think it's worth losing our Chi-Yu this early. Like, especially in a world where we get the taunt off effectively, and this Farigiraf doesn't manage to set up Trick Room, it's going to be important for us to keep our Beads of Ruin online for when Lunala comes back in. So Terra Fairy is cool there, sure. Trying to nullify some Dark-type damage. I see you, I see you. So we're going to get a little bit of chip across the board. Drop some special attack. That's nice. And now we get the taunt. Yep, CC, not even bothering with the fake out. Okay, so here's the big question, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go gambling. Yeah! Okay, we'll take that. So here's a moment right where I'm talking about. Foul play's not doing really anything across the board. Reflect is important, but I'm pretty motivated to consider going for a toxic one in one of these following turns here. Start racking up damage on this Assault Vest Hitmontop or a potential Calyrex-Ice Rider that shifts in. So we can expect a close combat now into the Umbreon. Okay, a wide guard, though. Not upset about that. We got to start putting the metal down on this Farigiraf. Right, that's going to do nothing. Leftovers is going to bring us back. Oh, Psychic Noise is going to prevent the Leftovers healing. That's kind of goated. So wide guard just stopping some Snarl. Looks like they're just trying to wear out this, this taunt. So that Reflect is huge for us. That's going to make us way more resistant to these close combats, which is important. I now think we'll also throw a Toxic down. Well, see, the trick is I want to have the taunt. No, we need to survive this turn. We need taunt pressure. The trick is it's going to be a close combat. Like, we'll probably be able to blow this Hitmontop out of the water the following turn. I'd rather start getting some damage down on this Farigiraf. So we'll go ahead and Toxic the Giraffe. So here comes the close combat from the Hitmontop, which means we can blow it away with Moonblast next turn because we're +1 and they're going to be -1. Yep, there's the CC. As expected, does about 50% to Umbreon. Thank you, Reflect. We know Calm Mind went first, so we're faster. We should be able to blow it away next turn. Citrus Berry triggers before the Calyrex hits the board. Very, very nice. Okay, Toxic misses. That's not amazing. Foul Play is doing decent damage. Reflect is coming in super handy there. Still no ability here to heal. That's kind of a problem. Okay, let's think about this turn here. We definitely want to taunt the Farigiraf, and then I think just Moonblast this Hitmontop. Right? Because we got to keep Trick Room at bay here. We want to keep our our pressure in terms of speed control. This should kill the Hitmontop. Okay, Hitmontop is down. No more pressure on our Umbreon now, which means we can freely taunt left and right here and maintain this board control. Yo, this feels great. Umbreon is putting the metal down on this team. I mean, that's the difference of having or not having Mental Herb, right? They go for it again. I mean, that's... I suppose, you know, I get it. It may be sort of a last-ditch effort here for them to try and stay in this game. So you got to go for it. That's fair. But we have the taunt online. See, now there's like a lot of room for us to consider switching into Chi-Yu here and just going on the crazy offense. Like, I'm thinking Toxic on for Rig and then maybe a Protect on Lunala. Because I feel like the Ursaluna is going to start... like, I feel like they're going to double into Lunala here, and we can bring in Shifu later for this Ursaluna. We just really want this Farigiraf to eventually go down here. So we'll stall a little bit longer here. We'll get our leftovers up. We already have our +1, which means we're already going to be taking all of these hits from Ursaluna very, very well. We just want to rack up a little bit of damage on Farigiraf here. Okay, so there's our Toxic up. That's very nice. Blood Moon into the Umbreon might give us a free switch out. Okay, Ursaluna loses some HP. Umbreon lives, which is, like, interesting because it doesn't have enough HP to work its way all the way through the next exhaustion of this taunt. You know what I mean? Like, our taunt's going to run out by the time this Umbreon dies. This thing has only 1 turn left of taunt. So they're going to definitely go hard in the paint against Umbreon this turn, trying to knock it out. I think on those grounds, we can go into Chi-Yu and throw a Moongeist Beam down onto this Farigiraf, because we should be able to 2-hit it now. Okay, so Umbreon's out of here. Let's get some boosted damage from this Chi-Yu. We don't need to worry about like a massive Blood Moon hitting our Lunala with the Beads of Ruin activated now, because they just used it last turn, so I'm willing to take the Hyper Voice. This should do a nice chunk. We're +1 with Beads of Ruin. This is a bit... I mean, Moongeist Beam is a big move. I mean, look at that damage, yo. Dang, that feels good. All right, see you, Farigiraf 07, boy. Okay, so now we have the Hitmontop down. Not doing a whole lot. That was a nice chunk, though. But at this point, right, no more Terra, no more Trick Room. We have Heat Wave plus Moonblast or Moongeist Beam. We should be able to blow through this this Calyrex now. No Reflect is brutal. But again, with the Urshifu in the back, the inability to Terastalize, like, it's clearly Life Orb Ursaluna, which means it's not going to take this Heat Wave well. We could Snarl if we're thinking we're not going to be able to get the KO, but I think Heat Wave plus +1 Moonblast should take this thing out. Calyrex can protect or eat half of its health from Heat Wave, and then Surging Strikes cleans it up. We just really kind of need to not miss any of these Heat Waves here. But, bro, they give it to us, and we take game 1. That feels so good. Feels so good to start out with a positive win. So there you go. You guys get to see the ability of Umbreon to sit around, to throw down some foul plays, to throw down some Reflect, even get a little Toxic Chip. I really enjoyed having that thing there. You know, the inner focus was great, forcing the pressure onto the Chi-Yu, which was able to Terastalize. That was a great game. Lunala looking clean up here in Master Ball. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, our next testament of the Lunala here is from a Tatsu team. Oh, yeah, this team has been going around the ladder, some of the Lab Mouse tournament stuff. I've definitely seen this version of Miraidon picking up lately. It's interesting because I think, as I've heard it explained, the Miraidon, basically the Dondozo with Unaware can handle, you know, the boosting legendaries everywhere. It handles the +1 Zamazenta really well. You know, just the Unaware of Dozo helps Miraidon push through some of the matchups that it's not super excited to go up against. I sort of see the logic there. Okay, but in this case here, we want to bring Rillaboom for sure, because Rillaboom does so well into the Dozo and Miraidon. The trick here is that Chi-Yu is looking dirt nasty, right? The ability for Chi-Yu here to just click Snarl or Dark Pulse into our Lunala, it like forces a Terra, and then also forces it forces a Terra from both the Lunala and the Rillaboom, which isn't great, honestly. I mean, I think we definitely want to go maybe Shifu first with booster energy, and then these two in the back, because we got to be able to deal with this Lunala and the Dozo, and these are our best tools. And yeah, I'm just nervous about the Chi-Yu pressure, really. I mean, Lunala at +1 will actually, like, chow on a Dondozo, like sushi all day, every day. So, like, I'm not super worried about that specific interaction. It's just how we push past the Miraidon Chi-Yu and then still have the gumption to keep our Lunala intact for Dozo. So we're playing with those interaction points right now. Let's see. So here we go. Here comes the lead. There's the Chi-Yu. We know that's a Scarf Dango, actually, which means this Chi-Yu is probably, like, sashed, right? I can't exactly remember all of the sets here. I think, though, that's Scarf Dango and Sash Chi-Yu. I don't really want to Terastalize just yet. I'm pretty motivated to try and KO. I mean, I just want to barrel into this Chi-Yu so bad. We're not going to take a whole lot from this Dango. I mean, like, Scarf Shadow Ball into Shifu doesn't feel amazing. And I don't know if we blow up this Chi-Yu spot with a single Surging Strikes. It's, you know, they're very likely to Terra. But if they Terra, right, then Rillaboom goes hard in the paint against Dozo later. Let's try this. We want to be able to fire off some Snarls. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is probably Miraidon, all things considered. But we can go Rillaboom and Snarl into the next turn. Oh, okay. Interesting. It's Dragonite. So this looks like they chose not to bring the Dozo, which is interesting. I wonder if they're clocking our ability to deal with this thing. So it looks like it's Chi-Yu, Dango, D-Knight, and Miraidon. Okay, is this Shadow Ball or Make It Rain? If it's Make It Rain is ideal. Oh, it's Thunderbolt. Well, we're sashed, so we at least deal with that. Well, now we can sort of recalibrate here a little bit, right? We know it's probably Sash Chi-Yu. We know there's no Dozo. So we can sort of look at the roles each Pokemon is fulfilling a little bit differently now. Like, Rillaboom is probably better equipped to deal with... no, we know it's a Miraidon in the back still, right? We also know that this D-Knight is probably rocking Extreme Speed. So maybe we just click Snarl and start, you know, ripping into this Goldango and chipping the Dragonite. And then we can go into Rillaboom next turn, or honestly even the Lunala, because it will ignore the E-Speed and then take the Thunderbolt decently well, especially after a Snarl here. So, like, that's good. That's decent chip into D-Knight. It's good chunk into Dango, especially considering the special attack drop. Does this do less than half, hopefully? I mean, half on the dot is fine. So we'll go into Lunala here now and then click Snarl. We have Tailwind control still, which is great, which means we can blow up this Dango spot or even the D-Knight. We also won't die to... We shouldn't die to an Extreme Speed, which means we get off one more Snarl, and then we're in, like, a really, really cool position here. We'll be losing our Tailwind, which isn't amazing. Okay, let's see. How do we proceed from here? So here's the Lunala. I mean, if they're a rather smarty pants... Ooh, Terra early. Into D-Knight. Terra normal. Okay. Probably trying to pick off our Jugulus here. Right. Oh. Okay. Well, we're not going to be upset about that. More nice chunk onto the 2. More special attack drops with me, which means our Jugulus absolutely lives this Thunderbolt, which is kind of awesome. Because that forces them to kind of go for this again. I say we just Calm Mind here because we are taking no damage here at all. I do think we kind of have to let our Jugulus go down, right? They get the Extreme Speed here big time, and then they can Thunderbolt Lunala. We don't have ability to click Tailwind anymore, right? Because we're going to go down here. So I suppose there's a whirl where we click Moonblast here. We don't have Protect on the Jugulus, which isn't great. So we can Moonblast here and then switch in like Rillaboom, but then the Miraidon comes in. Maybe we Moonblast and let the Jugulus go down instead. Nah, let's Calm Mind. So Jugulus... Oh. So Miraidon, right? Even Chi-Yu is... Yeah, I'm not upset about that. I have to say. We haven't Terra'd yet. Extreme Speed looks good there. Nicely done. Oh man, I'm not feeling too bad about this, all things considered. So we don't have Tailwind, which is like... Maybe we should have just been pressing Snarl early on. There wasn't a real need to Tailwind. I guess I think I scared myself into the Chi-Yu being Scarfed, even though I knew the Dango was Scarfed, so that was probably not a great play here. So the Dango is almost done. This D-Knight is probably gone, and that's their Terra blown. Right? So I'm feeling like clicking Moonblast and Fake Out here. I mean, I'm also pretty motivated to U-turn, right? you have to imagine that yeah, because right now we could Moonblast their Miraidon right off the bat, right? We could just pick up a KO on their Miraidon. So they kind of have to shift here. So I think instead we'll still go after the D-Knight, but expecting that they're not giving up Miraidon right away, we'll just U-turn out. Yeah, because you just lose Miraidon to the fake out Moonblast if we don't, if you let us. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's honestly amazing. We guarantee the KO on D-Knight. Oh, what? Didn't expect that. So who do we get to KO now instead? I think we might pick up the KO on this Gildango. There's a chance. Yeah, the Beads of Ruin with the +1. Resisted or not, that's a big hit. Okay, so the Dango's down, which is great. We can now get a U-turn off and break what I assume is a Focus Sash on this Chi-Yu. Which is awesome because now we're in Aqua Jet range, probably. I gotta confirm that, but I think there's a really good chance that we're in Aqua Jet range here. So let's see. Little recovery on the Chi-Yu isn't amazing, but we should... I believe we're Stellar or Water Terra. So, like... I don't know. There's a world where we could just go hard in the paint against this Chi-Yu. We got to be considerate of the switch. What's going in here? Okay, so it's... Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Let's think through this here. So there's a Miraidon in the back. Luckily, we have our Rilla in the back. So all we got to do is pick up a KO here. And they're going to go down. So they can't E-Speed. We're definitely faster than the Dragonite, which means they just have to pick up a KO with Chi-Yu. I'm wondering if Moonblast into here. Does this KO without the boost? I think we'll go ahead and Moonblast and Detect. And we're going to bank on the +1 special defense boost plus the Shadow Shield being able to get us through this turn. So E-Speed into the Shifu, right. Okay, playing very cautiously here. Dark Pulse is going to do a load, but half isn't horrible. Moonblast KOs the Dragonite. Now their Miraidon is completely at the whim's will, at the mercy. Jesus, man. Completely at the mercy of our Rillaboom here. I do want to really quickly check a calc on Urshifu that's sashed versus a Chi-Yu at like 70%. It's just Scarf. Oh wow, Aqua Jet is KOing here. Oh my god, because this is actually Adamant Urshifu. So Aqua Jet is doing 70 to 83. I mean, that to me looks like 75%. So if we do something like Protect here and go Terra Water Aqua Jet, they can't Protect, they can't Terra away from it. We'll guarantee the kill. Lunala will get some recovery. Rillaboom comes back out and gets the fake out into Miraidon. It's got to be Spexed. I say we go for it, chat. So I'm so used to streaming that I keep using the word chat intermittently. But I think this is a game-winning play here, boys and girls. Let's take the second game versus Miraidon. Let me show you what this freaky-looking bat can do. Ooh. Big Aqua Jet here. Pick up a KO. And then we're in the running for finishing this game up. Lunala protects. Aqua Jet goes off. Here we go. Time for a big punch move. Bam! All right. Knocked out the Chi-Yu. Moving into this next one. Electro Drift. Yes. Nice. Electro Drift instead into Lunala. Because now what I'm thinking, in order to guarantee, we want to put a fake out on the board. What we actually can do here is just go... They're locked into Electro Drifts. So we can go Rillaboom here and then just Detect and then get a fake out close combat Aqua Jet Grassy Glide sort of combo off on them. So Lunala's going to go back out. And then we're going to be able to just drop the hammer on him with these two. So there's the Grassy Surge. And now we get a detect off because we just used Aqua Jet last turn. Very, very surgically approaching this end game here. Yeah, because this does like 40% or something. And at this, like, let's see, 40? Oh my God, like 20%. At this point, it's a 5-hit KO. Like, they're not winning this game no matter what. We'll still play it cautiously, but like, oh, it's a 6-hit KO with grassy terrain recovery. But yeah, we just fake out and CC. Yep, that makes sense. We take the next one, boys. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so that game was, I mean, that was just abuse Rillaboom, but also like, man, you watched that Scarf what I think was Sash, maybe Covert Cloak, but probably Sash Chi-Yu. I mean, that was Beads of Ruin, Dark Pulse. That's 4 times effective into Lunala. We took half from it. I mean, that's a significant chunk, but with the Calm Mind boost and the Shadow Shield, man, we are eating hits up. That felt great. Okay, man. 2 in the bag. 1 to go. Let's knock this last one out here. All right, so here comes what you probably would assume is a rough matchup for us. So the restricted here being Terapagos with the double fake out plus the Rage Powder Tailwind. Like, this is, I mean, it's speed control via Tailwind and like Icy Wind T-Wave Flutter, plus Calm Mind Pagos. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So we have to deal with all of the fake out, which puts Lunala in a good position, but then we have to deal with the fact that we can't Moongeist Beam the Pagos, which puts us in a less good position. I do think we have the ability to set up some nice Calm Mind boosts. I also feel like we kind of really, really need to deal with this Flutter Mane like ASAP. It's not going to be Volk and Flutter, right? So I think setting up our Calm Mind boosts while they set up their Calm Mind boosts, dealing with the Flutter Mane, bringing the close combat, and then do we want our own Tailwind? Or do we just want like, maybe we want Snarl instead. Maybe we want to do this and then work in the Lunala afterwards. That way we can continually break Shadow Shield, or break Terra Shell and pressure the Pagos. Plus, we're not worried about Heat Waves too much. Let's try this instead. I like this better. I think Snarl pressure plus KOing the Flutter Mane so that our Lunala isn't going to be at risk of a Shadow Ball is ideal. Like and now these Pagos Firewater Grass sets, they're frequently running a Flutter Mane with Icy Wind and T-Wave and Moonblast, so there isn't a Shadow Ball. But, you know, nothing is ever out of the question, and I don't really want to lose Lunala on a bet like that. Okay, Instant Pagos. This is a world where we click Snarl. Yeah, this is a world where we click, I think, just Snarl and U-turn. Because they can fake out our Chi-Yu. Oh, no, we have to fake out their Pagos first turn, right. So it's fake out and Snarl. I don't want to Terra because, you know, Terra Starstorm will blow our up if we're not careful. So we definitely got to be cautious here. Just taking some notes as I play this. Okay, so the fake out, or the protect makes 3. Yep, that makes sense. So then what's it going to be, a parting shot or a knockoff onto our Chi-Yu probably? Okay, I mean, that's obviously negligible damage. Probably a parting shot into Rillaboom is interesting. It could just be into their other fake-out user. Like, they could just be cycling fake-outs to get their Calm Minds up. I mean, if that's the case, there's a world where we click Terra Ghost on Chi-Yu just because we need to be able to prevent this Pagos from getting, like, set up. I mean, giving this thing the grassy terrain isn't amazing. Okay. I see you here. I'm pretty motivated now to click. U-turn and Terra Snarl. And then go into our own Urshifu and go for the close combat the next turn. because they don't have a fake out on the board and they won't be able to protect against it or Terra out of it. And then if they do go for a Calm Mind, like if all things fail, then we're still in a decent position. I just hope this is enough damage, really. Let's try it. Oh. Well, that's not amazing. Let's see what happens here. Incin. Well, we certainly need to be able to prioritize our own Urshifu living. Right? We do need this Chi-Yu alive. I think maybe at this point we go into Lunala and start setting up, right? They can't CC. Surging Strikes will do a decent amount. Okay, more chip, break a potential sash. And then we'll U-turn our way out of here. We'll eat the Surging Strikes up on the Chi-Yu. Uh-oh, maybe not. I was really banking on the bulk of this thing to carry us through, but looks like this could be Mystic Water Shifu. Yeah, that's not great at all. Oh man, this is definitely a worse position now. I definitely used that Terra to live a Surging Strikes. I guess I underestimated. Yeah, I mean, this Chi-Yu is very bulky, so that's probably got to be a Mystic Water Shifu. I'm a little surprised at that. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I think we do this. Gotta be a fake out and then is it fake out or parting shot? They're probably going to terrestrialize their Pagos still. So I feel like it's Rillaboom that's probably coming in here, right? You have to imagine it's Rillaboom is the last piece they've brought. I mean, ain't no way are they just going to give up their Incin like this, right? I kind of think we need to make up some ground here, so we gotta go hard in the paint here. We need to pick up some KOs. So there goes the Incin. It's certainly not Pagos coming in to eat this CC. Gotta be a Rillaboom. So there's the Rillaboom. Right, so, you know, close combat isn't going to be negligible damage. So there's that. Nice chunk. Our defense is down, which means we could take a big CC from the opposing Shifu. No, but they want to break through our shield here. Shadow Shield. Because now they can get a huge knockoff onto our Lunala the following turn, since we can't terrestrialize away from any of this. So there goes the Shifu. And we do have our own lefties terrain healing stuff going on for us. Maybe we can get ourselves back up enough to the point where we're not super worried about dealing with this knockoff. So it's Incin, Rilla, and Pagos left. And they have to deal with the Shifu before they can deal with the Pagos. And we can double protect here and then just go hard in the paint against Pagos in the following turn if it comes down to that. So we gave up our Chi-Yu kind of early, all things considered, and we blew that Terra hoping to get a live that we didn't necessarily get. Oh, this to me could be fake out Terra Starstorm or like fake out and Dark Pulse. Either way, I'm thinking I want to double protect. Could also be Calm Mind. Could be fake out Calm Mind. But I don't have a Terra. I can't lose Lunala to a random interaction here. I feel like close combat plus Moonblast might be able to pick up the KO. Or at least close combat plus Moonblast plus Grassy Glide could pick up the KO. So let's be a little bit cautious here. This is certainly a squirrely game. We're like on the fence here for sure. It's not impossible to come back from, but it's certainly not going to be excessively easy either. There's a world where we should have gone for Moonblast there because we don't have the Terra Shell broken. Okay, they just clicked Starstorm, and they didn't click Fake Out, which means it could be a U-turn. Oh, it's just Woodhammer. So they're just trying really hard to blow through our defenses here. I mean, them not clicking Woodhammer or, I mean, Grassy Glide into our Urshifu is very interesting. They're just clicking Woodhammer into Lunala. I mean, I'm kind of thinking we can just close combat and Moonblast here because I don't think we die to the Woodhammer. I know that for a fact. But if it's Woodhammer, then the Rilla drops. If it's Terra Starstorm, we live on Sash. Oh my god, he clicks Woodhammer. Okay, we take the KO then. It's now a 3v2. We're going to break the Terra Shell, and we can just detect and CC. Right? And even if they Terrastalize, like, I bet Moonblast plus Grassy Glide KOs this. Honestly, weirdly enough, it's the Incin that's a problem now because all we have in the back is a Rillaboom. But, like, I think we can just afford to Calm Mind here. The fact that he hasn't managed to get a Calm Mind off is, like, working huge. It's, like, huge for us. The trick here is actually, it doesn't appear that there's a Dark Pulse available to them. Could be Sub, could be Earth Power. Oh boy, that's brutal because we definitely... your boy freaking out. Your boy trying to come up with a win here. So we obviously have to protect this turn. Right? Because honestly, we need Shifu to deal with, like, so much here. I'm kind of feeling like this is a double protect moment again, but also it's so free or obvious. I'm kind of motivated to go for the Surging Strikes and then a Calm Mind here. What's the downside? Like, if I just double protect and then click Surging Strikes next turn, plus Calm Mind, like, that's kind of equally as effective. I really don't want to make a big play only to, like, lose all my advantage here. So we're just going to go double protect here. They could get a Calm Mind off on the Pagos, with which in combination, Terra Shell will make this a really, really hard endgame. But honestly, I'm thinking this thing could be Specs, bro. Also, they didn't click Fake Out, so I could have gone for it. Yeah, there's the knockoff I was wondering about. Trick here is this could be a Terrastalization on the Incin to pick up the knockoff on Lunala. And if that's the case, like, if it's Terra Grass, that's a pretty horrible scenario for us. So I feel like our best choice here is Moonblast plus CC. That way it's like, if it's Terra Grass, it's neutral, neutral, neutral. Actually, but if it's Terra Ghost... Oh, I almost just ran. I think we gotta go CC and then Moongeist Beam. Because if it's Terra Grass, then we probably still pick up the KO with the double. If it's Terra Ghost, Moongeist Beam should cover for the Terra Ghost. Okay, here's the moment, boys. Everything's coming down to the line. It's the Incin. Okay, what is it? It's Terra Ghost! Yo! Moongeist into the Terra Ghost! We have it all in line, boys and girls! And there's no Terrastalization from the Pagos, which means they can't hit us. CC doesn't do anything, but Lunala's a big bad boy. We gonna give him the blast. Here comes the beam. Hit her with it, bat! Ba, 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 ba. That's what I'm talking about. All right, that's GG's. I think this Pagos is actually Specs, and it's locked into Starstorm, which means we take our game. Well earned, chat. Well earned. Oh, that feels amazing. We made all of the right calls. We saved the Terra. We made the right predictions. Yeah, because if that had been Surging Strikes, I guarantee we don't KO that. The Terra Ghost. So, I mean, honestly, CC or Surging Strikes plus the Moongeist Beam is ideal. But at this point, like, we haven't seen a Dark Pulse. I think we're in the clear, boys. So Surging Strikes here is, Grassy Terrain is going to give us plenty of recovery. We just go Fake Out and then Calm Mind, and then our Shadow Shield is back up. But that's it! We take that third game! Yo, I have to say, your boy is impressed. All right, let's jump back over into the team preview screen and talk a little bit about this Lunala comp. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back at home base, taking a look at this Lunala team once more before we call it a day. So, what I think I didn't capture in team preview that I may have demonstrated in the games is, you know, your instinct is that Lunala is so middling speed tier that you need the Jugulus's Tailwind support in order to really get this thing fast enough to be doing significant damage. But in my opinion, the Pokemon's bulk combined with our Fake Out pressure, combined with Reflect and Calm Mind, it's funny how often you can win games just simply letting Lunala's surprising damage output clear threats for you without great speed control. The combination of the good bulk and the good offense means the thing can take a hit and then return back enough damage to really put you in a good position just by exerting offensive pressure. So I was really, really satisfied with Lunala's ability to take hits and deal damage. I do think the Firewater Grass Core here is like a really, really nice defensive backbone. There's plenty of opportunities of pivoting. We did a whole bunch of that during the games. The Chi-Yu felt amazing, offering more damage control through Will-O-Wisp and Snarl. Again, Will-O-Wisp on the Choice Scarf is something I didn't talk about at the beginning. I didn't click it here, but I have clicked it before in my practice games. It's a nice little cheeky surprise strategy that can give you, again, an ability to chunk damage or tank hits, reduce damage, and then blow back with some extreme offensive pressure from Lunala. Additionally, the Umbreon as well, another really great choice here for more bulk. So you really get the feel that this team has a lot of ability to soak hits and then come up with nice responses. The Tailwind Calm Mind stuff, like the speedy version of this team, is like, honestly, it's like not the primary go-to strategy. So anyways, needless to say, I had a lot of fun with this. I do think Lunala is a bit slept on. This Pokemon felt very, very good today. So if you guys are interested in giving this a try, please, the team ID is on screen there. It's also in the description of the video. Please give it a shot before the creator takes this offline. And once more, a shout out to Migawati. I watched his live stream where he used this team. I'll link his channel and the video in the description below so you guys can also check out how the creator himself pilots this. Learn a little bit and then give it a shot. Anyways, yo, thank you for week number 2 of, again, hopefully many of these little team preview sort of videos to end the week out. Throw your boy some love with a like and a subscription if you so choose. We'll be doing a lot more of this. Again, we stream here Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. VODs are always posted, but it's a lot more fun to have you in person, so come check me out. There's a whole crew of goofballs who love Pokemon waiting to meet you. Last thing, I suppose, Discord server. Always great to have more of you guys there and do a little bit of collaboration on team building. Otherwise, that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for watching, reaching the end of this video. Y'all are the best. And I'll catch you in the next one. Later, yo.